Week 12.
12.
Yeah.
So, like 3 months.
4, 8, 12.
Well, I think we should work our way backwards this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's start with last night and just go back until we can't remember.
Okay.
Last night, you guys did that show.
Comedy Show Food Drive, 6th annual.
Sorry I wasn't a part of it.
You were there for a little bit. I think it was really good. It's something we do the first Saturday after Thanksgiving to help replenish the Bremerson food line. It's also a great opportunity for people to have extra food after Thanksgiving that maybe they obtained that they didn't use.
Yeah.
And I think we might have raised a couple £100. And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Good turnout. Good comedy. It went a little longer than usual. So towards the end, people were hanging on for dear life mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I can sense.
I left after after Billy went, I think.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was good. And then that was Saturday night. And then Friday night, something happened.
Cougs, dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Apple Cup.
Yeah, in the snow.
Yeah,
That was a
snow
lot of
game.
fun.
Yeah.
That was good.
Really fun game. Dogs just whooped that ass just like I thought they would.
And you won some money on it.
Yeah. Put my mouth put my money where my mouth is, or whatever you say, and made a little money. All the hype on the Cougs, man. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, UW's just a better school.
Yeah. I guess. I didn't go to either. Neither did you.
No, I didn't. I walked on the campus once, though.
It looks nicer.
Yeah.
Better school.
Yeah, I'd rather be in Seattle than Pullman.
Yeah. It's basically what it was.
But those Pullman parties are crazy, man, because, that's all you got. It's like all the kids are going to go to one spot.
And then drive over to Idaho where the strip clubs are.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah, because their laws are way better about what the stripper can do to you.
Huh.
In Idaho.
You been to Pullman?
No.
I was just there this summer for the first time. My son went to one of those college parties. It was back to school week. It was crazy.
And then
You got sprayed by some mace at the party.
well, that's when you know you're having a good time. You got hit by some mace. And then Thursday was Thanksgiving.
Whoa, earthquake.
Earthquake.
Yeah, Thursday was Thanksgiving. That was fun. A nice dinner and everything.
Oh, you had a beautiful dinner, man.
Yeah, it was
You're a
fun.
remarkable host.
It was a lot of fun.
It's nice and chill.
Go ahead and pull that cock out of your mouth, Joe. Anytime now.
What are you talking about? For me, this is what it's about. Okay, I got a family. So when I used to leave town. I used to have to leave town to go see my family, and I'm just so grateful that I'm just down the street with a wonderful host, and I can not worry about the travel and driving around all those dipshits.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to host.
It's nice not to stress about it.
And what happened Thursday night? Oh, I just stayed home. That's unusual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tryptophan kicking in. And then, of course, it was a short week. Oh, no, go back to Friday. I did the Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
I did. I made it to like 15 stores, I think.
What time did you arrive?
I started at Best Buy at 8 in the morning.
Nice.
When they opened. But I guess they were open till midnight the night before. I'm not a Black Friday shopper. But I did this time. It wasn't that bad. There were people. I didn't buy anything. I think I got a light switch. No, that was yesterday. Oh, I didn't get a shit. I don't know. So that was fun. And then Wednesday? What happened Wednesday?
Cookies.
Oh, that's right. There was comedy.
Mm-hmm. I had dinner with my great aunt in Silverdale, which was really nice.
Good. What happened in the news?
The black dude got killed on freaking
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving Day.
Suspected shooter. And it turns out he wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't even read that shit anymore.
They're just like, oh, another one.
There's another one.
Another one bites the dust.
No, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. And you keep thinking to yourself, when is it going to turn around, you know? And then you have the Kirkland incident where the guy was, a black guy was asked to leave a business for no reason. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh no, he wasn't just asked to leave a business for no reason. He was the support. He was on his job, watching a mom have visitation with their son. He was hired by the state to supervise a visitation. So he's sitting there in the yogurt shop watching this, mom and son have their interaction from a distance because he wants to give them privacy, but just make sure nobody gets fucked up, whatever. And they come over and say, you have to leave. And he's like, what? And the cops come and everything. And he's like, okay, move along. And he's like, explain what he was there for. They said, too bad, get out. He's like, what? He was on the clock and everything from the state.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's like, well, shit, at least he didn't get shot, right? I mean...
And then they try to make it not about race, and it's like, well, what was it about? Was it about the way he looked?
Here's the thing. That it's just like all these stories you hear about, like a kid getting suspended for bringing a toy gun, and it's like a little plastic Lego thing or something like that. There's a backstory, there's always a backstory. So the backstory on the gun thing would be, okay, this kid's been threatening to shoot people all the time, and now he's starting to bring little figurines, and it's like, enough is enough, get the fuck out. So with this thing, you wonder how many times homeless people have been in there, just fucking sitting to evade the cold. It's not a good thing, but it's got to have an impact on you sometime. There's got to be a tipping point in which you say, man, this is not safe, it doesn't feel right. So they called the manager who wasn't even on the site, and he called the cops who wasn't even on, and it's like,
but
it
even failed at the cop level.
Oh yeah, cops should have said, hey, this is not a transient guy just coming in here.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got it wrong this time.
It's call me crazy. I feel like a normal person could, look at somebody and be like, it's well cut, has a tie on, groomed, like, it's probably not a transient.
Yeah.
I guess it just goes back to businesses having the right to refuse service to anybody, I guess. I don't know. You're not going to buy it, get out.
That's what I think. He should have bought something. But he is a college student. I think he was a college student. Yeah, he is a college student.
He's
former soldier. Yeah.
Oh, there's another, y'all another fucking bus flip over or some shit. Was it the
marching band?
Yeah, the marching band.
Luckily, no one got hurt.
And we could laugh about it.
Yeah. We can make jokes about it.
Already.
Yeah.
It would have to take 2 weeks if there was a death.
No kids died, no pets died.
I seen a meme that said, join the marching band, they said. It'll be safe, they said. They had a picture of the bus.
Yeah, I know somebody posted that.
I don't know who posted that. Mystery.
That was a good one. What else is going on in the world?
Well, speaking of going back, since the theme is going back in time, did you hear about that tribe still using arrows?
Oh, yeah. No shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I even said that to, what's his name, the comedian that tells about Judas Priest. What's his name?
Sam.
Samuel. Yeah, he's good. I like him. He's funny. Before he got up there, who was up there is Sean. And Sean was telling about, price matching.
Oh, yeah.
And I've heard it like 20 times, so I just, I wasn't laughing really. And he's like, dude. It's like, tough crowd, man. You don't think that's funny? I'm like, no. I mean, it's funny, but I've heard it 20 times, so it's like, I see the car right coming, It's like, and he's like, oh, fuck, man, I got the same material, too, so you're going to get
Oh, jeez.
I was like, well, shit, man, there's a guy got killed by a bunch of Indians natives on an island. Somebody's got to say something about that, and nobody did.
I even tried thinking of a joke about it, and I couldn't think of anything good. Worth
No,
saying.
you just say the story. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, you don't even have to add to it. All right, let's get this straight. He's an Asian American, which is, like Bill Burr said, I could have sworn it would have been a white fucker. It had to be a white guy. But no, he's so it's creeping into the Asian population evidently, his parents said, fuck, we knew he was stupid.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. He went to the island a few times illegally.
Here's my thing. If you were a devout Christian and this other devout Christian who's supposed to be your brother, even if you don't know the guy personally, says that God is protecting him and that he's sent on a mission to go to this tribe, and then he gets killed, shouldn't you question your God at that point and say, where were you, God? Why weren't you protecting
him? I will be
But they don't see it that way, do they?
That's when they say shit like, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yeah,
That's it. Ominous.
What I find badass is that the day before he died, he went to try to approach him, and his Bible had an arrow shot right through the Bible.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, if that is not a sign to do not proceed any further, then I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Poor guy. Just imagine his last moments, you know, riddled with arrows.
Yeah.
Like, man, I fucked up.
Well, you know, it's like once you get knocked out by one arrow, it doesn't really matter.
Then your brain just puts all this shit, adrenaline thing in your system.
Once you're passed out from the first one, you know, you're just dead.
Yeah, and
you know, anything they do after that is no big deal, really. I mean, they drag him through the streets.
The human body's pretty
It's like, whatever, he's dead, you know?
He probably lived for a good 45 minutes.
He was in a shallow grave. It's like, so what? He's dead, you know? Who gives a fuck, you know?
That riverbed is not a shallow grave.
Well, you know what? No, he's going to be eaten by the fishies instead of the worms, you know? What do you fucking do? Sorry.
Should take a pistol.
Yeah. Guns and Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
Bibles and guns.
A couple of dudes, and it's funny to me, like, a couple of dudes with like some machine guns and go over there and wipe out that whole entire population.
Oh, fuck yeah. But, you know, the fishermen that brought them there, 7 of them, they're arrested. And they're being charged with assisted neglect homicide or some shit like that.
It makes sense. I mean, there was plenty of opportunities to know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, they were getting paid. So that's the thing, you know, it doesn't go to the backstory of what's the
If they're getting paid, then who's paying them? They should be the ones.
And I bet that Christian guy was getting donations from a bunch of churches saying, yeah, let's do it. And he organized this for years.
I kind of feel like the fucking, the fishermen were gambling on when he was going to get murked.
Oh, yeah.
The over-under.
Oh, yeah. They're like, fuck it, dude, we're getting paid.
Yeah.
But not one of them said, dude, we could get in trouble for this. No, so, I don't know. I think it's good.
R.I.P. Jackie Chan.
But the family's saying don't press charges against these guys because it was all his
doing.
But
Yeah.
you know, you can't pay somebody to take you to the bank to rob it, and they know that you're going to rob it.
Yeah, exactly.
And say, hey, you know, that was him.
Yeah.
You were the getaway. You were the vehicle. Literally got you there to get killed.
That's
Dude,
true, but like if you took him to the store to buy some bleach and I'm gonna drink it, like
Hey,
you should be charged with assisted suicide.
Yeah, I think you should.
He's gonna get riddled with arrows, and then he's gonna go up to heaven, and God's gonna
I
be
mean,
like,
seriously, if I knew that I was going to drive some white guy into the ghetto where there's fucking Bloods and Crips and shit like that and drop him off because he
East
wants
St.
to go
Louis.
do some shit, yeah, I think I'm culpable.
yeah,
That's a good word for Monday morning. Culpable.
Word of the
Don't ask me
morning.
to spell it.
But you know, I think the concept is funny that he gets riddled with arrows, and then he goes up to heaven for his moment of truth, and he says, "Sorry, that was considered suicide, so you're going to hell."
That's very formulaic.
I don't know.
Dark, too dark.
No, not dark, just stupid. It's like, you know, I mean,
No one's saying that. It was a form of suicide, in my opinion.
no.
I feel like you can literally make anything a form of suicide.
Oh,
even
here's
that,
here's
you know.
one that in the local thing that I'm curious about, right in our neighborhood, Joe and Randall, the Francis Hayden Morgan Center. That's the right down here on Marion. You know how you drive by and there's a school district right there, the administrative building.
Yeah.
And then next to that's the Social Security building, the Hayden Morgan Francis Center, or whatever it's called, Francis Hayden Morgan Center. It's a fucking mouthful. I thought Colville was bad. But that whole place they're trying to turn into low-income housing. Which, fine, you know, place needs it, I guess, you know. But it's going to be really densely populated right here with low-income housing. It's going to be like West Park right in our neighborhood. But even more interesting is that the guy that wants to do the project, he's a felon. I mean, he owns some property in which the water damage broke through the ceilings of a bunch of apartments and stuff, and he knew there was asbestos in it, and he didn't clean it up properly, even had the tenants clean it up. and it was filled with asbestos, and so he was sentenced to prison and shit. And now he's like, well, we can't, the city council's, well, we can't hold him. He's already paid the time for that, so what do you do? It's like, it sounds pretty shady to me.
They should build a low-income condo.
Yeah. Why would somebody want to do that?
I don't know.
Think the city should do that?
I don't know. I think that when it comes to population in that area, I think if you make the houses maybe a little bigger, that might help.
Well, they're just going to build into the existing building. So they're going to convert like offices into apartments and shit.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We might as well make it into a safe injection site.
I think it used to be a school. Yeah, really. We might as well make it a heroin shoot up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the old West Park. They tore that down, put up those nice condos. You drive through there. Those are pretty nice looking
Can
places.
you imagine if they did turn that into a safe injection site, what the crime rate in our neighborhood would go up to, maybe?
I don't know.
And you measure it, see if it changed?
I think when you bring more, when you bring more guns into a community, it's safer. So if you bring more heroin people into a community, it's going to be safer.
Give them a place to do it,
They don't overdose.
Yeah.
Well, what is your guys' thoughts on that, now that we're talking about it? Safe injection sites. Are you for it or against it?
I think I'm against it.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I just feel like that's like an enabling fucking type of thing, in my opinion. It just says, fuck it. If you're gonna do it, like, here's this fucking area for you to do it, and what's the fucking motivation for you to fucking not want to fucking do it or do anything else? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Well, I guess the idea behind it is that they don't die.
Yeah, and they
So it
don't
cuts
spread
down on
disease
death.
and stuff.
But
like
does are there any stats to back that up? Are there fewer heroin over deaths in areas that have safe injection sites? That would be the question.
It's too soon, and the number is going to be so fuzzy because diseases are still going to be transmitted, whether it's through that or other things, and also people are still going to die of overdose. So how do you know if the overdose was avoidable or not? You can't. These numbers you can't measure. You just have to set it up and hope that it helps the.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly how does that work? Do they just fucking, is it just a building or area that you just go to? And
Yeah, you bring your own shit and you go in there and then they give you needles and
make sure you don't OD.
and they keep an eye on you so that.
just like a facility with people actually in
Sanitary.
there and they fucking.
Yeah, but they're like
stuff.
volunteers, I think.
And
And it's not like nurses walking around saying, "All right, here's your own."
right. And ethics behind it too kind of fucks with me because heroin's fucking illegal, and I just feel like you're promoting it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, yeah, and I totally agree, and that's why you should just make it legal.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right,
Because there's no difference, illegal or legal. People are still going to do it at the same rate. If they made heroin legal, I'm not going to be like, hey, let's go to buy heroin. I just don't do heroin. I just choose not to. And the people that do it aren't going to all of a sudden, change their lives.
Well, we have safe opioid dispensaries. They call them pharmaceutical or pharmacies.
Yes.
I mean, more people are overdosing on just pills, aren't they? I mean, isn't that the opioid epidemic?
Pretty much
More people are ODing on over-the-counter or prescription drugs than they are on heroin, and that's been endorsed by the whole fucking system.
Well, heroin's opioid in itself.
Right, but people are doing more or pharmacies than they are actual tar from the fucking needle.
Deaths from pharmaceutical medications are off the charts.
And I'll have to admit, I'm the first one to say I wouldn't mind taking a Percocet. But, it doesn't do anything. I'd rather take Tylenol, to be honest with you.
What do you think? Do you think you'd be leaning towards for the safe injection sites?
No, I think that we need to go for legalization before we do that. But I sound like a frickin' skipping record in this joint. It all comes back down to healthcare. The same with mental health care, and we're going to open safe injection sites, but we won't open a mental health ward, or we won't make it mandatory that somebody who's about to OD or is in the hospital for doing heroin that they should go to mandatory jail hospital, and say, hey, do you want to kick this or not? But I'm getting tired of using my tax dollars to pay for people to do heroin for fun. shit, you know. So you got to give them some treatment.
Let's rally the boys and go down to the heroin injection site and try it out.
And same with the opioid stuff. I mean, those are all prescription drugs being paid for by my tax dollars through the healthcare system, you know. And so, you know, might as well legalize it and fucking socialize the medicines better.
There's something about this whole thing just tickles me. I just, hey Barb, how you doing? Oh, pretty good. You know, just gonna go shoot up. Fucking here's your needles. All right, hope you back here. Fuck, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. Since they legalized weed in our state, the black market in weed is still there, but it's not nearly as powerful as it was.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons for that, but if you legalized heroin and maybe some other things, and then you put it under this umbrella of the pharmaceutical stuff, where you can get it by prescription, you're going to get it cleaner, safer, and you could eliminate possibly black tar heroin and fentanyl overdoses.
Well, I mean, like they put it in stores.
Yeah, or pharmacies, basically, where you still have to get a prescription, but it's going to have the same effects, just like the pills that they currently have. Like
Yeah, you're still going to have problems, but at least you can regulate it.
Regulate it, track it, know it.
And, you know, you look at the cartels in Mexico, I mean, the whole fucking caravan that's coming up from Guatemala and El Salvador, you know, they're all running from drug cartels that are legally selling us cocaine and shit. It's like, well, fucking cut those guys out, and then, you know, like you said, the black market for marijuana is pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
The only reason why they would want to go after somebody growing their own weed is because you're not buying it from the store and paying taxes on it. I mean, that's the same with a lot of shit. I mean, I could grow tobacco legally, but what a pain in the ass that is.
Yeah.
I agree with like the legalization of all drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like putting them in stores isn't going to work out the same as marijuana.
I think weed's the only drug that you could probably put in stores.
Well, I think marijuana was done entirely wrong in the first place. You know, if they're going to call it medical marijuana, which was the gateway to recreational marijuana, but it should have gone through the pharmacies, and you should have to get a prescription from a doctor like normal. And they did. You know, you went to a doctor to talk about your back pain, and then you get a prescription to go to some weed store on Callow. You know, give me a fucking break. You know, you should go to your doctor. You should tell them what's going on, and then you have to go to the pharmacy and pick it up at Rite Aid, like every other drug that you have to go get there. But you know, when you just throw it out there like, hey, it's medical marijuana, then you got everybody just lying, basically. You know, I mean, how many people just got green cards to say, oh yeah, it's easy, you know, go get this.
Oh, just tell me about migraine.
Yeah, and now that it's recreational legal, you know how many people are getting green cards now? They don't give a fuck. They're just gonna go get it and smoke it. So it's totally skipped that whole idea that it's
medicine.
What narcotic is it listed as? A Schedule 1 narcotic, and
yeah.
yet it just goes right to Callow instead of going through the fucking pharmacist and a legit doctor. That's bizarre to me. So same with heroin. You know, all of a sudden you can't have heroin shops opening up on Callow. That'd be ridiculous. But
you can basically, if it was legalized and you had heroin going out of the pharmacies, you could just call it something else and it's the same thing.
yeah, like opioid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what people are doing, and then they're overdosing on it. So they need to tighten the fucking screws on that. But when they do, then they're going to go underground. So if you make it legal, then there is no underground to go to. Then you have to go through the system.
You know what's crazy when you think about what it's going to take for someone to run for president to actually make some changes? There's no way they would ever gain any momentum. Isn't that crazy? How if you say all these good points about medical and guns and they're legit points.
No, I think it changes through the House, you know, because when you get enough representatives talking about it, then the president has to side with the representatives to get him, so they don't veto his shit, you know. So, you know, it goes in that trend is the way it works. And so you see it with like gay marriage, you know. Obama was against it, Hillary was against it, and the fucking people said, what are you, fucking crazy? This is stupid. And they're like, oh yeah, we support the people and their choices, you know? I mean, it's like, it had to take the masses to convert them. Otherwise, they were just going with the old status quo. Yeah, you know, it's a traditional marriage between a man and a woman. It's like, whatever. So it does catch up on things like that. Same with abortion, you know, or fucking slavery. You know, the black, I mean, all sorts of things change because of the popular opinion. And it just takes, that's why the media is so powerful.
Yeah.
You know, that like the big one that I've been waiting for is the hemp movement. And I think that the marijuana movement's really hindered that because everybody just gets stoned and say, hey, it's legal, what are you complaining about? It's like, no, we need to get hemp products. So we stop buying plastic and polyester and shit and worrying about the recycling and the turtles with the fucking straws and all this other stupid shit. And it's all distractions from we should be making this shit out of hemp. I mean, to me, it's just a no-brainer, but it's going to take a while for people to catch on.
Understand.
And when you get somebody like Mitch McConnell, who's the Republican Speaker of the Senate, who's been around for fucking ever. I mean, he looks like those old guys on the. I just saw the Indiana Jones movie with their faces melting at the end. Yeah,
he's for hemp because he remembers when he was a kid using that shit.
Well,
right?
no, it's because he's from Kentucky and the tobacco market's gone down and farmers are losing their farms, and so he's like, we got to change crops, and so he's sponsoring it with a Democrat from Oregon of all places. I mean, so fucking Republican and a Democrat. A liberal Democrat, hemp supporter, marijuana guy, is teaming up with a Republican, old-time motherfucking conservative to make hemp legal. That's going to change. So you're going to start seeing more and more people buy into that. But there's going to be the resistance from the plastic companies who's got the deeper pockets for the lobbying. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what I think the hemp thing would do is open up more of a middle-class farming system. Instead of mass production of polyesters at centralized chemical plants, you can have mass spread out agricultural changes that you can see more of the commoner being able to work that farm until, you know.
Well, you would think that having hemp legalized and for farming and agriculture would actually help climate change, because that's something,
absolutely.
You know, we need to start focusing on one thing at a time.
Yeah, I mean, the big filter we have for our ecosystem is our trees, and we cut that down in mass, and not just for paper and wood, but to clear land for cows and pigs so we can eat fucking meat all the time.
I think that's going to be 2020's campaign movement to be president. Whoever does run against Trump is going to be, I bet you, very about climate change awareness and trying to reverse it, because it's going to be a thing over the next couple of years for sure.
Well, the forest fires that happened,
yeah,
you know, the feds just came out with that report.
Politically, it makes sense to go with that.
But,
as
you know,
campaign.
But as we know, it's fucking about charisma. You know, who's going to be the charmer for a Democrat?
That's why Bernie will probably never get it, huh?
Bernie's
he doesn't
too
have
old.
the charisma. There's no charisma there.
Well, and he's a little too far left-leaning, so it's easy for a Republican to just say, we don't want a socialist, so fuck off.
Exactly.
You know? And they don't examine the situation, but they
Someone's
do the
got to
same thing.
sneak in. Someone's got to sneak in and be president. And
It's going to be Trump again, man.
Ah,
I know.
God, it's horrible.
Well, who else? Who's a good Democrat? The fucking Avenatti, the porn.
He's done.
He's done.
He's done.
He's got the federal
Dragged a bitch by her
felony.
arm.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I know he got a felony. I can't wait to be vindicated. And it's like, dude, you got arrested for doing something.
Yeah.
They don't just arrest people for hearsay.
Oprah.
Yeah.
Oprah on the rock. Well, I mean, at that point, it's.
Yeah, I don't know about The Rock.
That's what I heard.
But
Jon Stewart needs to just hurry the fuck up.
John, if you're listening, Jon
Stewart, it's time.
and Steve Colbert. That
Yep.
would be the ticket. I would vote in a heartbeat. I bet you'd have a massive turnout for that.
And then their campaign slogan would be, "You're fired."
Well, I think it should be "Fuck Fox News." No.
All right, let's go watch the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, what's your predictions on the game here? We got
Oh,
Seahawks, Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's favored by 3 points. It's in Carolina. Seattle's playing good football. Carolina, not so much. Cam Newton's got a hurt ankle.
Oh, good.
I think Frank Clark is going to have a big day. We're going to see Cam Newton get sacked 6 times
Oh wow.
for a 17-14 Seattle win.
It's pretty specific.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 7-4.
7-4. 2 safeties and a touchdown.
No, I'm not gonna make a prediction, man. I'm wrong every week, so it's fuck it.
Take Seattle on the money line and pick the under.
I just got Seattle winning because I hate fucking Cam Newton.
Fuck yeah, that's a good reason.
All right, well, hell, have a good week, everybody. Anything coming up this week? Oh, we got the feud tomorrow.
Feud tomorrow
Ashley's.
at Ashley's. DC fans versus Marvel fans, and chess club versus pinballers.
Oh god,
It'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe we should have Randall run the board so we can get some practice doing that.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll play for the chess club.
turn the camera off before I make my statement.
All right.